We hear a lot about cryptocurrencies, and of course it's crashed and we don't hear much of it now, but wait until you see what is new. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Wealth Transfer. My name is Terry Saka. Before we get going, I'd like to just tell you how you can get a hold of us. My favorite spot, Instagram, which is Cornerstone Mint. Wonderful graphics, 1-minute videos that kind of introduce the idea that we're getting at here in sound money. I definitely want to move towards advocacy for sound money and what that means, mainly because I have a real bad feeling that what is coming in the future is something that most people are just not aware of. And I know nobody really wants to hear the negative side of things, so I'm not going there. I just want to tell you here at Wealth Transfer what is on the table. We show you what data is on the table. We show you what's being currently discussed or being currently implemented. And I think you have to take it from there to make the big picture. And from that big picture, you want to get prepared, meaning be diversified. Be diversified, not in just paper. And when I say paper, anything currencies, stocks, and bonds. When I say be diversified, I mean tangible assets, and I'm not talking just your house. Yes, land is a tangible asset, not as liquid, but having tangible assets in what is coming is paramount. These banks are not your friend. And you have to hear the stories that I want to get into on how the banks are treating people. I don't know if I'm going to get into that much today. I want to talk about this crypto. I think this is explosive and not too many people have seen it. So I want to jump right in. It's known as the US dollar. Yep, the US dollar coin. So this crypto with a stable side, they call it, with the USDC. The USDC, you can move dollars, American dollars, anywhere in the world in minutes instead of days. Cheaply and securely, the tokens bring stability to crypto, opening up possibilities for trading, hedging risk, lending, and beyond. Folks, I'm kind of blown away by this, by the way, because although we've said this was coming, I'm stunned that they actually implemented it this quick. If my producer can put up these definitions, I did not prepare these, but there's something called blockchain. Blockchain is basically a mathematical, if you just think of a link chain, blockchain is a mathematical program that will basically timestamp every single event. So you get a split-second time stamp of who, what, where, when, why, and it's digital. So basically they can go back in this blockchain of evidence, similar to like a credit card statement. But in blockchain, every single thing you do is documented. Who, what, where, when. Now, we talk about that. I'm not in the paranoia side of this. I'm presenting this because it is so explosive that it's actually being tied into the dollar, and not by accident. Now, who's doing this? Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs, next to JP Morgan, there's no doubt are part of what we would call the cabal. They are the ones running the country from the financial side of things. Goldman Sachs has been directly involved in all of the derivatives, the whole financials. They are the top of the food chain next to JP Morgan, of course. Goldman Sachs is doing this, obviously, possibly for their own competitive edge. I think they're working through sanctions through the government because in order to even use a dollar and use a dollar, even the symbol of, and try to say something is a unit of a dollar, you would have to have sanctions from the government, which is interesting. So this particular stuff is called Circle, USDC. So it's a United States dollar crypto. And it is fascinating. But so as I started out explaining to you, they're introducing it as a way to say, okay, instead of using a paper dollar and you have these transactions you want to make, instead of taking a paper dollar from someone, going to the bank and depositing it, writing out a check, or charging a credit card, they say you could just do your telephone, crypto app, scanner, chip, right? We all know about the chip. Sweden's doing it. Many other corporations are starting, to the tune of hundreds of thousands of people, and their chip's right here in the hand, by the way. You can do the chip, boom, crypto. Calculation, take away out of your bank account, just like Apple iPay, things of that nature. The fact that they're presenting it in such a casual way, wow, it'll be easier. So instead of going through the checking and the credit cards and the bank statements in the bank and going to the teller and dealing with all this stuff and having currency and losing the currency or having someone steal the currency, and you can think of 20 different ways they're presenting the concept of crypto and how easy it is for you and me. Now, you'll have those on the right who will go into immediate invasion of privacy, which is absolutely correct, of course. But the major chunk of our country, I would say a lot of those in the youth for sure, extremely ignorant on reality. Their education is pretty much false. Almost everything they teach in schools next to something scientific like doctors or something is so skewed Luciferianly that these kids are growing up with a skewed view of life. They just are. Morally, the teachings that they're giving them. And then you got the whole left side of the spectrum. Now, granted, I'm not into either of them. I don't like Republicans or Democrats, to be honest. I don't even like politics. I know sometimes you may not believe that. But Democrats are all about socialism, censorship, zipping the mouth of those that have a different viewpoint, calling you a racist because you disagree, yet they will turn around and call a very person a racist. But see, when you got a major chunk of the country that thinks this way, that getting rid of free speech is okay, that censoring what they don't agree with is okay, then they are the ones who easily will be susceptible to, oh, why would you want to use a paper dollar when you can just scan or use your card or your iPhone, right? They will fall easy into that pattern. So I really believe when this technology of blockchain, Tether, the identification grid of all of the information, when that happens, I believe a major portion of our society falls right in line. One other example, and then wait till you see how this leads up, by the way, in the very end of it. One other example is when you go to the airports. For those who have traveled recently, the TSA lines can get real long in security, and there's a private company called Clear, where you can go up to them. It's a big machine box. You go up to them, and you use biometrics. So you either use a handprint, you use your eye, your retina, and through that biometrics, you get passed through the line to go by all the other people in the TSA line. Private company, they're doing it to bring the people in, and believe it or not, I see every time in the airport, people going through Clear. They think nothing of it. I have nothing to hide. Why would I care? That's the mentality. Then you get this portion of the country that is being educated through wrong thinking, and then the socialist side that really wants to stop free speech or any thought outside of their thinking. You have a recipe for bringing people into the digital era. Because those on the way right and the right, a lot of them, they're never going for that because they know what that means. It's a mark of the beast, right? So this is really a big deal. It's something that's not real, of course. It's digital. And we really here at Wealth Transfer are trying to set you for the future, because in the future, when it becomes purely digital, all they have to do is what? Not like you. But if you're stored in physical assets, you can always sell off, you can always barter, exchange. It's real, it's tangible. It's something that gives you protection and preservation, and definitely with these markets whipsawing, it's something to give you peace of mind. Good way to really get there? Right here. Get started.
Terrorism, a volatile stock market, rising food costs, natural disasters. Every day our economy is at risk, but your assets should not be. Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked so hard to gain. Whether you have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, our accredited asset management specialists are here to support you. Call now and we'll send you urgent information regarding changes to the dollar and challenges to our economy that you need to be prepared for. Learn how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA. We can even arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or send it directly to your home. Do not delay. Call 888-747-3309 or register online at cornerstoneassetmetals.com today. Invest in precious metals and create security in your future today. Call now.
Welcome back. So, there's this big talk about cryptos. We've gotten into cryptos before. There's this Bitcoin, of course. There's Ethereum. There's 100 different coins that they like, tokens and everything else. The concept of crypto, when it first came in, and Bitcoin for that matter, was a way anonymously for those around the world to do buying and selling. Well, of course, that was a total lie. It was a setup. And matter of fact, many people believe the blockchain cryptocurrency was created probably by the NSA, and the Asian person they were talking about that probably did start Bitcoin is probably just a setup on the NSA side, meaning they're using it as a way to condition the minds of the population of the world to go cashless. Now, this is a macro concept, but it's not, because all of a sudden I found out it's right here compared to the dollar, and that amazes me. Cryptocurrencies went through a big run and then collapsed. Everything about them is fake. Nothing is backing them up. They're digits in the cosmos. They're tied to an IP address, time-stamped to the second, who, what, where, when, why, and how. Now, I understand, I'm not paranoid, I have nothing to hide. That's not the point. The reason I brought up the politics side, especially those in the left censoring, look what social media did. Literally censoring conservative viewpoints up into the election. And all due respect to anybody on the liberal side of life, that should concern you too. Maybe you got the victory now, but any censorship at that point is bad, because you on the left side think this is a great idea. You've never lived in communism or socialism. I actually have seen it. I did it in the Army. I did missions. I get it. I see the massive oppression. And if those really want to know what it means, go to Venezuela, Argentina, Cuba, and tell me that they're okay. Point being, they're okay with censoring speech. So we got crypto as our money. Apparently, this new currency is tied right to this dollar. So if they finally get you to get rid of this paper dollar and accept the digital form, they immediately have you on timestamp. Now, what happens when they say, just like Alex Jones in InfoWars? Now, he said things I don't agree with, so what? A lot of things he has said is absolutely true. And they call it conspiracy, which a word made up by the CIA anyway, to throw people off of the criminal intent, insidious Luciferian intent of these actions. But look what they did to him. Shut him down out of the internet just because they didn't like what he exposed. Look at what's going on in the special counsel investigation. There is no collusion. And he's going after the associates of Trump, basically catching them in a lie that they didn't know about a timeline when they made a certain comment regarding WikiLeaks releasing the emails of Podesta. Now, that's not collusion. That's not illegal or wrong. Lying is, but, they're going to, how they can do it. They'll just twist it. I wouldn't say a single word no matter what happens, because they're just going to twist it. Because in Corsi's case, he's just basically saying, I had an inkling that this was going to happen, but he wasn't saying he knew for a fact, but yet they're trying to pin him down and say he lied now. And it's just the point being, when they want to, They will nail you to a wall and shut you off. When the crypto becomes our currency and you disagree with them, they could shut you off. They watch your patterns through this blockchain. They see who you talk to, where you go, and then they can formulate through algorithmic and computing what you think like, who you are. And so what? So if you're a conservative, a libertarian or something, so it's okay to be a communist. It's okay to be a socialist, but it's not okay to be a freedom-loving patriot who says, you stay out of my way, I'll stay out of your way. Don't touch my children, I won't touch your children, right? That's somehow wrong, which to me, that's the clearest form of freedom. It's control. That's what these cryptos are. Control. Shut you off. Disconnect your ability to buy and sell. So it's not so much I'm even concerned, you're spying on me, whatever. I have a NATO secret clearance in nuclear. They know me back and forth. I'm not concerned. I'm not against the government. I'm really just against the philosophy of socialism. And just as Obama's were talking about, Michelle even said it, trying to dish all that stuff off, the way people think, and that has nothing to do with race. Has everything to do with the Marxist socialist ideology is why nobody liked you or your husband. It has nothing to do with race. I care less what color you are. Martin Luther King had it the best. It is not about the color of your skin, but the content of your character. And all due respect, anybody in the socialist side, your character is flawed, man, big time. Because you're willing to shut down speech and thought. If you're really, really who you are on the left, why not have a debate? You see, they can't. Crypto will allow that to be a control grid like you can't imagine, folks. You will go down. So I want to get into explain what this is because I find this astonishing. But the crypto, yes, it's easier. Yes, it'll be simpler. But if you realize what we as a society are giving up, you will never go there. And I believe it's happening so fast that we better have ourselves properly protected and diversified in tangibles. Because the cryptos are in the digital world that banks can just shut down. And we have numerous examples of how banks are raping and pillaging people and taking things that don't belong to them. It's astonishing. You just don't hear about it in the media. So I want to go back into this one. I want to continue with this US dollar crypto coin. It's regulated, transparent, and verifiable. Circle is a regulated money transmitter, so we're an open financial book. Before the USDC can be used, the associated US dollar is deposited with one of our accredited bank partners, and we publish those holdings regularly to verify the one-to-one ratio. So they're claiming to be a financial instrument, that's all they're claiming to be. And we're just making it easier for you. It's okay. But you see the setup. Luciferians, remember, it doesn't have to be conscious. They can be unconsciously used by the enemy to set we, the people in the kingdom, up. And I just know that a big chunk of our country that way decides, well, it's the other way around on TV, right? Decides they don't like free speech. They're going to cut that off. Can you imagine if they're in control of the crypto? You're not going anywhere. And how do I know this to be fact and to be true? China's doing it right this very minute. China is doing crypto take this back. China is doing a credit system. You disagree, you're not patriotic, you do something wrong, they got your pictures on camera, they're snapping your face, you then lose points in your credit score. And when you lose so many points in China, remember, they're communists, right? You can no longer use trains and airplanes, and then they start to minimize you even more. And that's already going on, and they are full-blown communists. They have more cameras there than probably any other country. And you don't think that's coming to the rest of the world, you better be kidding yourself. Being protected and preserved is absolutely essential. The markets are extremely unstable. Wait until you see what's going on in the banking world in Europe, and wait until we continue to get into these cryptos. But real quick, I want you to know where you can go to get protected, and here's definitely one way to do it.
Buying power. What does it mean to you and your family? Have you noticed the prices of everything we buy are rising? Goods and services are becoming more expensive, and the money you work so hard for buys less and less and less. If you saved $250,000 in cash in the 1960s, that cash today would be worth approximately the same, $250,000. Yet does it have the same buying power today? No, not even close. Now take that same $250,000 from the 60s saved in silver instead of cash. Today, it would be worth a staggering $4.25 million. Now that's buying power. Protect and preserve your buying power now by rolling over a portion of your IRA into a silver IRA. Use the power of constitutional money silver to protect your standard of living in retirement and maintain the quality of life you are hoping for. The paper dollar you are saving has tremendous challenges ahead, so don't delay. Call Cornerstone Asset Metals now at 888-747-3309. Don't give away your hard-earned savings any longer. Be diversified. Get protected today.
Welcome back. So I think by now you get the idea that it's really about power and control. And they're going to pitch it as they did to the 9/11 narrative to us. They're going to pitch it to, you need security, you need safety, and if you want to feel safe, we need to enact this Patriot Act. Of course, the Patriot Act really was designed to strip us of our liberties and freedoms, period. But they set you up because the American people in general are very fearful people. And especially if they go hungry and they have fear, they will let the government do anything, regardless if we are a free society. But they've got this thing nailed. I'm a shocker here. Watch this. In the USD coin, it is at the ready trading stages. For crypto-only exchanges, the USDC coin is the bridge between dollars, paper, and trading. And for those exchanges that already accept fiat, you won't have to waste time waiting for your money to show up at the bank. Now you can seize the buy moment that you're in. Think about that. Instant. Now, I get the convenience. You will be marginalized. You will not have free speech. They will shut you off. They're doing it now. Look at Hollywood, how unhinged they are. Look at how they destroy thinking on the right side. I mean, that's bad news. I'm amazed that the right has as many patience as they do, or has patience. Because, somebody does that to me, I'm probably liable to clock them. I don't quite get that harassment being allowed. This is dangerous. The US dollar coin right now is accepted in all these wallets, you can say, and exchanges. This is big. It's already going through Coinbase, the big ones, Polynex, wallets are already in the system. Now, it's not mainstream yet. We're not talking about it a lot, but it's already tied in the system and set up. The US dollar coin, from the US paper dollar now to the digital crypto and back. As a registered money service business that this is becoming, Goldman Sachs, we have to ensure the right checks and balances are in place throughout the process. Remember, not the Luciferian checks and balances, mind you. The timestamp of who you're talking to, what you're doing, where you're going, and why you're doing it. That's what they're check and balance, mind you. And I know they're talking digits, but you read between the lines. This includes verifying you are who you say you are, using a state-of-the-art tool to protect against an illicit behavior. Think about it. Who you say you are. Illicit behavior. What's illicit behavior? Like Seth Rich being murdered? For probably releasing all the emails to WikiLeaks? You see where this goes? Both sides have problems here because even on the left side of politics, they're going to be found out. It's going to be difficult for them to, well, not really. Communists got to get away with anything, can't they? But you see where they go. We need to know who you are. I'm going to buy something from my neighbor, and we're going to exchange currency. I'm going to buy your lawnmower. Currency's gone. You do the digital. Who you are. They try to use that for safety purposes. Oh, no, no, no. Are you on our side? Are you thinking our way? Now, they say it as the way of including verified you, illicit behavior. Oh, are you doing something bad? Why do you have a few $1,000s more in your bank account? Where did it come from? We know where you get paid. We know who you do business with. We know where you shop. Where did you just come up with that few $1,000s, huh? Did you sell something or do something that we didn't approve? Do you see where this goes? So incredibly dangerous. It's not even a joke. The only protection out of the electronic world that is coming, I don't know when it's coming. All I know is it's here right now, this circle. And so I know it's around the corner. In order to really implement probably the big worldwide implementation of the digits, of course, India is doing it. They're going to need a major event. Currency reset, major collapse, something. We don't know exactly when. All I know is it's time. In that digital world, all we will have as kingdom members is this. Because it's a digit of money. Constitutionally, it's our only dollar. And biblically, it's our only dollar as well, right? So the US dollar coin, go ahead, you just create an account. Use our simple web app to set up an individual or an institutional account. We're regulated, required comprehensive ID verification. Oh, by the way, I think you're a criminal. You see, Manafort's criminal. Well, he might be, I don't know. But, I mean, how they go after all of the politics on the right, that these guys are criminals, but they completely have ignored the entire absolute massive corruption coming out of the Clinton Foundation. It's because they control the mainstream media, they control the data. But as they're showing you here, ID verification is they want to know, who are you voting for? Who do you know? And, oh, you know this person over here, you must be bad too. Which is totally not true, right? I mean, you could have a friend. How do you know what they do 24/7? See? This is a very interesting thing. So then you fund the account with United States dollars. You wire US dollars from your bank account to the Circle USDC account. Shocking to me. Get your tokens. The very word token ought to petrify you. Look at our gold, our coins right now. I just gave my little girl one of those dollar coins that we had. I'll go back to this one. I'll end up doing this one later. I gave my little girl this dollar coin. You know the old dollar coins, the ones that they painted gold, looking gold, but it's not gold. And I had it, someone gave it to me at a vendor, and I gave it to her, and I told her it was $1. And I said, no, honey, it's not gold. She thought it was gold. I said, nope, not gold. What are they doing? What are they setting up? Stay tuned next week, and I'm going to get deeper into this coin. But until then, God bless each and every one of you. Get diversified. The time is running out to get some of that currency in the right place. We'll see you next week.